Hi everybody, Monday night. Welcome to Stamping with Denise. So glad you're here. Sorry I was just a little bit late. My husband was leaving out the door. Believe it or not, he's heading out to the World Boy Scout Jamboree. And he's going to work on staff there. And so he was leaving tonight. He and his friend are driving all night to get down to West Virginia for check-in for the staff tomorrow morning. So I'm saying my goodbyes. So how is everybody today? We had a little bit of rain, thunderstorm. Saw a beautiful rainbow this evening. It was gorgeous. It was like the biggest rainbow I had seen. So we're going to get started here. Couple things. Remember to like and share my video. And if you share, you get a chance to win the project I'm working on tonight. And it's really cute. Say hi to me. Let me know you're here. And I will. I see Linda. Hi, Linda. Someone else is watching too. And see Linda. Hi, Linda. Someone else is watching too. Gotta turn the volume down on my iPad there. Oops, I got my dog here. Usually she's upstairs and the door's closed. Okay, Linda, I'll be sure and tell him. So anyway, be sure to like and share my video. You need to comment shared in order to win, get a chance to win tonight's project. And that's because if you're my friend, I can see if you've shared, but if we're not friends on Facebook, I can't see that you shared, and so then I can't enter you. So I just ask everybody to comment shared. And hush. There's Miss Moxie. Let's see if we can see Miss Moxie. There she is. She, you know what? She wants a treat because she knows that when I sit down here, she gets a treat. So, okay, there you go. Okay, back to this. Comment, share it, comment that you shared, and get a chance to win tonight's project. And the winner of last week's project, which was that really cute card using the crafting suite. Remember the card says you make everything sparkle? That goes to Stephanie McKinstry. So Stephanie, I will make sure you get your card. I know how to get that to you. And remember, if you come to my in-person classes and you share my video, you get a chance to win you get a ticket into the door prize drawing, an extra ticket. So please share and comment that you shared. Okay, I'm going to put the card up, or the phone up in the holder, and we are going to get started on tonight's card. It's really a cute card. I think you're going to like it. I think the dog's all worked up because she hears me talking to somebody. Now, why is okay, I'm kind of crooked here. Let's get that. Oops. Okay. Let me double check here. Might have been frozen. We had some pretty bad storms. There we go. Now I'm back. Okay. So I have to show you just the absolute cutest card. Look at this. It's called a pull tab card. Our friendship isn't one big thing. It's a million little things. Isn't that cute? I'm going to show you how to make that tonight. Isn't that just adorable? And then you still have the inside of the card to write, put another sentiment, write your note. But I just think this is really cute. So, now I did see this from another demonstrator, and I was partway putting it through, and I had to rework the measurements because I realized she was in the UK, and although she was using inches, their envelopes were different sizes, so I had to go down, and I had to kind of rework it and make sure it fit in one of our envelopes. Okay, so like I said, I will put the measurements down below the video when we're done. But I'm going to let you know that this card base is just a little bit smaller. This base is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So instead of being 8 1/2, it's 8 1/4, and that gives us a little bit of room for this tab here. Okay, so that's what that does. And this is one of our new in colors. This is the Pretty Peacock color. I think it is so gorgeous. I think it's so gorgeous. So we just fold that in half like we do any other, and set that off to the side. Now I've already done all the stamping and die cutting just simply because it, y'all know how to do that. So you can see we've got the 2 different sentiments here, and we're using 3 different sizes of the stitched framelits. This is the largest, this is the second largest, this is the third, and then there's a smaller one here. So so you're using, if 4 is your biggest one, you're using 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to put 2 on 3 and 3 on 4, just like that. So let me, I'll go ahead and adhere those, and then those will be ready to go. I'm going to follow my directions here. But I do like these stitched framelits, but because they give that little extra bit of pow there for the, you know, the little edging. But if you don't have them, it's okay, because you know what? Squares are easy to make. You just cut them off on your, you know, on your cutter, paper cutter. Okay. So for right now, those are done. I'll run through the other sizes real quick. We're going to have 2, I have to double check, we have 3 pieces of white. I got to make sure I've got all the rights. Okay, we have 2 pieces. Let me start over. We talked about the base being 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then folded in half. We have 2 white pieces of Whisper White. These are 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. One's for the inside and one's for the front, mat on the front. Then whatever Designer Series paper you're going to use, you have that and a piece of Whisper White, and they are the exact same size, and it's really important that they're the same size. So you know what I did? I just cut them on the on my trimmer to get at the same time. Then I knew they were the same size. And these are 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I really like this. I've used this paper before, the in color, or the 6x6 stacks that comes in the you know, different color families. And then this piece here, you're going to have whatever your base color is, and it's going to be 2 by 6 1/4. And this is going to be what you're going to make your pull mechanism with. Okay, so I think what we'll do is I am going to go ahead and adhere this Designer Series paper to this white one. Like I said, this is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So the lady I watched used Tombow, but you know what? I'm not very good with Tombow. I sometimes use more than I need. And we're going to be making a hole right in the center here. So you want to make sure you get a good amount of glue or tape or whatever you might be using to, so that when you punch your hole, it is, doesn't, you know, come apart. Okay, there we go. There's that. And I'll go ahead and put that hole in there too. We're going to use the classic label punch, and you want to push it all the way down as far as you can push it in, and then you kind of want to center it top to bottom. And on this paper, you know, it's kind of easy to center it because you can count the lines of script. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe I'll move it up just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're pretty darn close. Okay. Make sure that's in there. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but you kind of want it close. Okay, so there's our hole that our mechanism's going to go through. And you can see I got a good amount of tape there, so it's not going to come apart. So we can just kind of set that off to the side. Okay. So now we're gonna take this piece here. I have to get my scoreboard out. Let me set this out of the way. And we're going to use that to score this piece. Again, this piece of paper is 2 by 6 1/4. Remember I talked about the stylus having 2 ends, and that the bigger end was for more fragile paper, like designer series paper. The smaller end was for cardstock, like this. So we're going to score this at 2 and 2 1/2. 2 and 2 1/2. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's done. Oh, well, let me show you too what stamp set these sentiments came from. They came from the Beauty Abounds stamp set. This was in the Occasions catalog and then carried over to our annual catalog. And it coordinates really nicely with the Butterfly Beauty dies. And that's what I used to cut out the little butterflies here. This one, cuts out this piece, and this one cuts out the other butterfly. But this is a gorgeous set of dies. They layer on top of each other. So I should have brought one over to show you. Really pretty. So anyway, you don't have to fussy cut those little butterflies. There's a die form. Okay, so let me get my bone folder again. And I'm going to, you know what, I folded those the wrong way. You're supposed to fold them toward the mountain. And let me fold this one here. Okay. Let me make sure now I got my, yep, okay. And then we're going to use the tag topper punch to punch this out. There's actually a new topper type punch in the catalog that has, instead of having a slit, has just a circle, a hole. But we're going to use this. The person who I saw do the tutorial, she used the other one, but this will work. Okay, so we're going to punch that out, and there we go. Okay, good. We're all done with the punching. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take the smaller set of the smaller sentiment. We're going to put it right here, right next to the line, okay? You don't want to go over, you don't want to be crooked, because then it'll mess with the mechanism for it to work correctly. So I'm just referring to my instructions here, but so actually what we're going to do is I am going to use Tombow on this, because when you have a card or some kind of a project that has it's going to have a lot of motion, a lot of activity, Tombow and tear and tape are your best options. Okay, so for this one I'm putting the Tombow on the smaller piece, so because I don't want glue on the other side. Remember, on Tombow, less is more. So here we go. I'm gonna put this right up to that line there. There we go. Good. And the nice thing about Tombow too is it gives you just a couple seconds to move things around if they're not exactly right where you want them. Things like snail and some of our other adhesives don't give you a little wiggle room. This does. Okay, so then we're going to put a piece, we're going to attach the big sentiment. We're going to use a piece of tear and tape. Again, very good for something that needs to be strong and hold on. So I'm gonna put that on there, and I'm just gonna, that's the name, there's tear and tape. So when we're gonna put this on here, again, we're gonna line this up with that second crease. Now, you wanna make sure you've covered up your bottom sentiment, you know, that it's not sticking out a little bit. So your placement kind of have to look and make sure, but let's see, yeah, I'm covered there. If I get it on straight, I will be good. It'll cover it all up, perfect. So I'm gonna take this, sometimes the most challenging part about the tear and tape is just getting the covering off. Okay. There you go. Okay. You know, you want to center it top to bottom, you know, make sure you've covered up. And here we go, I'm all covered up. Good. Yep. Just making sure all of a sudden I had a slight panic, I'd put them together wrong, but there we go. Okay. And then I want to put two strips of the tear tape right here on this part of the small sentiment, and that'll help anchor it down to our card front. It's really not hard once you do it a couple of times. It's just going through the motions. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna burnish that down there. There we go, okay. And now we're gonna assemble this. This is just gonna go through here. I'm gonna kind of center it. You know, you're not putting any tape on this because that's got to be able to move, okay? What's going to hold it down are those two pieces of tear tape. So you're going to want to kind of center that. Okay, about like so. There we go. Okay, so I think that's about right. I'm going to just hold that down and open up or take off my strips of tear and tape. It's not too hard once you've done it a couple of times. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything, and then you're just going to kind of pop that over. And there you go. Let's cross our fingers, and there we go. Yay! Next step is to attach this to our card. Okay, we've got our white panels. One is the matte under here, and one is for the inside, so we'll go ahead and do that right now. Put the inside one in. You know, if you've got a lighter color cardstock, you don't have to do that. You don't have to put a panel on the inside. But if it's dark like this peacock, then you do. Okay. Just want to make sure we've got the right color. The right size, there we go. Perfect. Okay. And so we're going to use dimensionals to attach that, because then that'll let us still have our mechanism to work behind. Oh, let me attach this first. So you just want to stay clear of our mechanism. So I'm going to start with my 4 corners, and I'm going to give it some support in the middle too. Okay, yep. Put some here. It's probably more than I ever put on any cards. Okay. Make sure we're all good to go here. Perfect, just like I knew what I was doing. Okay. If any of you watching are my local peeps, my local customers, my classes are this weekend. I have one Thursday night here at my house. It's at 7, and then on Saturday at noon. You just need to RSVP, okay? Okay. Here we go. There we are, very good. Oh, let's see. See if I've frozen again. Looks like maybe we have a lot of rain today, and so sometimes the internet gets funky when that happens. Let me see. Okay, there we go. I'm back up here. Okay, so we have basically our working part of our card. Now we just got to put a little bit of bling on it, okay? So I put some butterflies on here. Put those out of the way. Again, I've already stamped those and die cut them out using the, where's the other butterfly? I'm missing a butterfly. Well, you know what? I'll find it when I'm not looking for it. I know I had them. I've got one that's already, an extra small one that's already done. So, you know, you can just color them in however you want. These are this is Flirty Flamingo, and so on these I just put, you know, I just colored the whole thing with the light color, and then use the darker color to fill in that center there on the card. Do the same with the yellow. I used the Daffodil Delight. Again, I colored the whole butterfly in yellow. Actually, let me use the other end. There's my missing butterfly. It was under the big one. Okay, well, we'll just put it off to the side. We're good. Okay, so it's easiest to me, just color the whole thing in the light color, and then put the dark where I want it. And I'm just going to fill in those bigger areas with the darker Daffodil Delight. Generally, I would probably color them before I cut them out, but since I wanted them cut out ahead of time, so I wasn't messing with that. Okay. And I'm just filling in those big areas there. I'm gonna let them kind of dry for just a second. There we go. Very good. And I am going to, where'd it go? Use a little Wink of Stella on my butterflies just to kind of glam them up a little bit. Ooh, there's a lot of. Here we go. I love Wink of Stella. It's so easy. Okay, so when you're putting these on, you just have to make sure you're not like, okay, on the inside of this one I have a larger butterfly. So you just need to make sure that when you're placing it, it's covered up by your your bigger sentiment when it closes. So that placement there actually is pretty good. I am just going to use a little bit of snail on this. You wouldn't want to use a dimensional because then it's not going to lay flat. So let me just kind of lay it on there again to double check. There we go. Perfect. Now that one's on there. The ones on the front, there's a little less of an issue in terms of it interfering. With the mechanism. But I still like I'm just using a little bit of snail on it. You could use a glue dot too if you wanted to. I suppose I could have. Let me see. Putting this one kind of like that. And we'll open it up and put one on the bottom down here for good measure. We're almost done, not too hard. Last thing was a little bit of bling. Up here I put some pearls. And so these are some of the larger pearls. I'm going to use my craft knife. And just put 3 of these right up here. Like I said, remind y'all, please share my video and comment that you shared to get a chance to win this card for next week. Okay? I usually do the drawing about an hour before I go live. So you have all week to share on your Facebook, okay? Please do that. That helps me more than you can imagine. There you go. Our friendship isn't one big thing, it's a million little things. Isn't that cute? And then it opens up. So very good. Everybody, I wanted to thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I hope you like this card, and maybe you'll win it. You just never know. Again, thanks for coming by, thanks for sharing, and I'll see you next Monday night for Stampin' with Denise. Bye now.